Uh, Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Mr. Sengupta, you can unmute yourself and just check. Ma'am, Madhumita ma'am, if you could just unmute yourself once.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
For some reason, you are not audible.
I am not audible.
Okay. Let me just leave and come back.
Am I audible, Anirban?
Yeah, you are audible, ma'am.
And
Sir.
I also have my video on.
Yes,
Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am. That is visible pretty clear.
Good. We just
Mr.
have to wait for Mr. Sengupta.
Yeah, Mr. Sengupta, let him join and then we'll start the session.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir. Can you hear
Audible?
us?
Hi, Shubho. Welcome to the meeting.
Mr. Sengupta, can you hear us?
I can't hear you for some reason.
Can you hear me, Shubho?
I can hear
Madhumita here.
Madhumita talking, but I can't.
Mr. Sengupta can't hear us. He is audible very clear, but sir, would you mind, are you using a headset?
No, I've taken off the headset. Yeah, microphone access, volume, everything is fine. Seems to be fine. Yeah. I have no idea what is happening.
Could you double check at our end, Anirban?
Oh, okay. Wait. Maybe 1 second. Just. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you loud and clear,
Okay.
Shubho, through.
Yeah. So sorry. I'll tell you what happened. I had a Bluetooth device on, so that was blocking the, transmission. So sorry.
Not at all. You're ready to go. Anirban, over to you.
Yes, sir. Ma'am. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you all to the first management specials of this financial year. Last year we had three of the management specials, in which one was actually on spiritualism, one was on data analytics, and the other one was on basically on general management. This time we have a digital marketer with us. I will not take much of your time. I would leave it to the two experts to discuss amongst themselves, and I request the former president of Calcutta Management Association, Ms. Madhumita Basu, to kindly take us throughout the session. Ma'am, it's all up to you.
Thank you, Anirban. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Calcutta Management Special Edition on the subject of the power of integrated marketing. I'm so happy to be digitally connecting with you on a topic which has digital at its core. And it's an added pleasure having the opportunity to introduce Mr. Shubho Sengupta to all of you. Mr. Sengupta's journey in integrated marketing runs almost parallel to India's journey in the transition from traditional to digital. Shubho started his career on the creative side of advertising in this city of joy and worked with, you name it, all the big names in Calcutta in those days, O&M, JWT, Leo Burnett, and Contract. Understandably, it was a spectrum of brands from multinational to social, and he directed many campaigns that won awards for these agencies. In 2007, which was still early days for digital marketing, he moved over to Interactive Avenue as National Creative Director. It was here that he worked on a number of first-time digital campaigns for many national brands. This is where his journey to integrated marketing probably started to get consolidated. And this was followed by stints with Rediffusion Digital Marketing and as head of digital marketing with Coca-Cola. Shubho then took a 5-year stint as an independent consultant. This got him the opportunity to work with large brands across FMCG, all platforms of media, e-commerce, and telecom. Here is where he seamlessly advised both traditional media and digital agencies and worked with them to achieve their consumers' goals. In his own words, his favorite stint is in his current role with MyGov as media and creative director. He gets the opportunity here to converge his experience over the years into promoting and publicizing schemes and initiatives of the government of India. He understandably draws a lot of satisfaction from the role he played during the COVID pandemic. To give you a flavor of the person who will be speaking to us, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to quote him on what he calls his long-term interests. He says it is to scale up digital skills for the rural population through strategic and creative interventions with like-minded teammates. Shubho loves to work with young professionals. Having followed him for some time on social media and reading his columns, Digital Gadfly with the Hindu Business Line, I can promise you 3 things this evening. Firstly, Shubho will not walk us through just some bare concepts on integrated marketing. He will give you his take, which will be rooted in experience, informative, immersive, and maybe contrarian. Secondly, characteristic of someone who cycled unaided and solo from Manali to Leh, Shubho is courageous. He will speak his mind. He will call a spade a spade. And finally, given that his roots are in this city, we could look forward to some good content and probably later the flavor of an adda as we open up the session for audience participation. So ladies and gentlemen, with that, over to Mr. Shubho Sengupta. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Am I audible? I'm just
yes,
a little nervous after the goof up. So thank you very much, Madhumita di, and it's very kind of you. I don't think I deserve half of what you say, but thank you. It's the best introduction I've had, and someday I hope to return the favor. And rest assured, I shall have much more to say than you have. And this is real achievements. Yeah, right. Not marketing achievements. Anyway, so thank you very much, and wonderful to be here with the Calcutta Management Association, and spend the next 45 minutes or so taking you through a couple of things. And can I share my screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. All right. Okay. Entire screen. Okay. All right. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, great, great. So, first of all, a little correction, but it was Madhumita, the very small correction. Basically, I am no longer with MyGov. I have transitioned to a different role within the government. It is called Karmayogi Bharat. So, this is basically, training, capacity building of all civil servants through digital training, online training. So it's like, Coursera, Udemy, or, all these, online platforms, but it's only for government civil servants. And, civil servants as in not just the IAS, but all government employees, which starts at the bottom of the rung, I guess, it could be a mechanic, a welder in the Indian Railways, right up to the secretary of a ministry. So everyone, at all various levels, behavioral training, competency training, domain knowledge, and so on. So, I can just give you a little glimpse of it. This is where I work these days. I head marketing and communication at Karmayogi Bharat. And, this is just 2 or 3 months old, about 3 months old, actually. So we're just creating and putting up a lot of courses and so on and so forth. Yeah. So, this is where I am and hope to be for some time. And, okay. So, I mean, so let's move on. So, yeah, my background is traditional marketing, the kind of marketing that we all grew up with, advertising marketing, which is, led by traditional platforms like television, like print, like, outdoors and so on. And I kind of transitioned at some point around 2007 into digital, because I got very bored with doing just one thing, or perhaps I wasn't that good at it. That's also true. So anyway, I moved into digital, and it was fun. And I ended up doing a lot of integrations, because my bosses said, "Hey, listen, you can't just do digital. You've also done this in the past, so do something with both." So that's what I ended up doing, and what I still do. This marketing role that I have is both traditional and new age or digital, whatever you call it. So before I get into anything, and first thing that I want to kind of take you through is the difference between digital and traditional. And I guess you can see my screen, right? Yeah, I don't know how to blow this up, but can you see my screen, the dual customer journey? Is
Yes,
it clear?
we
Yeah,
can see
yeah.
you.
Okay, okay, all right. So, step one is the difference between digital and traditional. Acha, I want to show this, or do I want to show this? Sorry, I'm a little scattered all over the place sometimes. Okay, where was it? Where was it? Sorry, this is the one. Yeah. So what is digital and what is traditional? So, ignore certain aspects of this. This kind of shows digital as the hero. It is not true. The best kind of marketing is where both digital and traditional work together. But there is a difference between digital and traditional, which you should know. I mean, some of you may already know, of course. Okay. আমি কিছু কিছু বাংলাতে বলবো, because as Madhumita mentioned, I'm from Calcutta. Okay, I am sometimes I'm more comfortable speaking in Bangla, especially when it comes to the nuances. Okay, all right. So digital is where you can reach a particular audience, have a one-to-one conversation with that person, your customer, versus traditional, which is very broadcast, which is one message to many people. In digital, the difference is you can push out different messages to different people at the same time, right? So there is an interaction. It's a one-to-one conversation versus a traditional marketing thing, which is one to all, right? So that's the big difference. And of course, there is a cost benefit, and so on and so forth. But as I said, you know, anywhere you go in the world, the bigger brands, or let's say even the smaller, smarter brands, do a mix of digital and traditional. It is not possible to stick to one. And these days, there's a lot of integrated marketing that is happening, which is, you know, it is digital at the core perhaps, but there are all other elements. And I will be the first one to say that in some areas, for example, where digital is not that strong, right, it is, other forms of marketing that are also extremely valuable, right? So it is not, you will hear this thing, digital is better than traditional, or traditional is better than digital. It is not true, right? You need a mix of both, especially if you want to reach, whether you want to reach, new young audiences or older audience. If you want to build a brand, then it's best to think 360, not only digital or only traditional, right? And these days, there are a lot of brands you'll see which are built on the internet, but they're still very small, very, the number is very low, right? You have to touch a lot of, different points. The other one that I want to, important thing that I want to take you through, since the topic of this, this evening's discussion is integrated marketing. If you look at the typical marketing funnel, this is the marketing funnel, which I'm sure most of you know: awareness, consideration, evaluation, conversion, ambassador, etc., loyalty, etc. There are many different slices, as we call them, but more or less it's this triangle, right? So the same thing: awareness, consideration, inquiry, purchase, loyalty. These are the, if you see the dotted line, the little boxes above the dotted line is traditional advertising. So there is TV, print, radio, outdoors, direct mailers, and so on. So this is the role that different things do. So awareness, television, and you must have heard, is very good for awareness, right? Print is very good for awareness, radio is very good for awareness, and so on, right? This is what it was. Okay, now what has happened thanks to digital? Okay, and by digital I mean mostly mobile, because it's the ubiquitous mobile in everyone's hands. The little device that we go to bed with and wake up and see, the first thing is, all these different points in the funnel, the marketing funnel, are covered by mobile or search. And search is not just Google search, but it's also YouTube, it's also many other platforms, right? Websites, search, emailer, social media, and so on. These cover all the chunks in your marketing funnel very quickly. Now, one writer, and this is what I said earlier. So it's not as easy as saying, oh, okay, if mobile covers everything, then I will do only advertising on mobile. It does not work that way. The human mind, as Madhumita will tell you, it is open to different kinds of messages at different places, right? So yes, let's say a BMW. I went to for a golf. I went to see a golf tournament a friend was playing in yesterday, or a couple of months back, and I saw BMW signs all over the golf course. And the reason was simple, because people who play golf, there's a higher chance of buying BMW cars. So and that person will not consider your message, take your message seriously if he sees it on an Instagram page or something, right? Being in a golf course, there is something called affinity. So a brand needs to be contextual. A brand needs to be in the relevant place. There needs to be affinity. So these are, complex terms we can come to later, but I'm just saying, and I'm repeating it again and again, and which is, it is not digital versus traditional. Both need to work together. You can say that mobile or search or whatever covers different points, and these days you can buy almost everything on your mobile phone, right? I mean, from shopping to many other things. You can even buy some expensive stuff, mobile phones, Apple phone on a mobile website, but it's still all touch points, right? So because our brain is very, likes tactile experiences sometimes, right? I mean, for example, I love going to a bookshop. I don't just buy books on Amazon. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to cover out here. Any questions so far? I mean, I can stop and take questions at any point. No issues.
There's one question if you want to take it now, or you can take it later on also. There's one question
Sure.
which has come from a very general question, which is that what do you think is actually the future of digital marketing? Now that the COVID is gone, do you think the digital marketing is going to play a similar role as it has been playing for the last 2 years?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. What happened during COVID is people stayed home basically. Okay. যেখানে সম্ভব, I hope everyone understands Bengali or ওকে, সো যেখানে মানে আমরা যে বাইরে গিয়ে যে কেনাকাটা করতাম ওগুলো অনেক বন্ধ হয়ে গেছিল, মানে ফ্রম বেসিক শপিং টু ইভেন স্লাইটলি হায়ার ভ্যালু গুডস। সো কোভিড এর সময় online shopping just went up, digital just leapt. And as you all of you know, I mean, people like Mark Zuckerberg or আমাদের এখানে Vijay Shekhar Sharma, etc., they got very, very rich, much richer, their stocks boomed, right? So digital, COVID was, fortunately and unfortunately, a lot of people died. Very good for digital commerce, right? Broadly speaking, digital marketing, digital commerce. Okay. And a lot of innovations happened around that time. Okay. So আমি যেখানে ছিলাম মাইগভে, আমাদের I think এটা ছিল daily traffic was something like whatever 1 lakh or something. COVID এর সময় it went up to 3 lakhs, it went up to 4 lakhs. So COVID was a big sad to say boon for all the entire digital kind of thing. And there were a lot of innovations also, as I was saying. So এখন যে কোভিডটা চলে গেছে, it's still there, right? It's still মানে কি বলবো, এরকম যাচ্ছিল এরকম উঠে গেছে কোভিডে, now it's there. The growth has come down a little bit, but it's still very, very high. It's very super fast. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I think digital commerce, digital marketing has grown exponentially since COVID. And now with things like, AI, machine learning, etc., it's set to grow even more. Yeah. Okay. Can I carry on?
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah. Okay. All right. আমি একটা জিনিস করব. What I'm going to do is, I will take you through 2 case studies. But before I take you through 2 case studies, I will tell you, এটা আমি যে দেখাচ্ছি POST, এটা হচ্ছে like the Bible, the Gita of digital marketing. And if you forget everything else that I say this evening, it's absolutely okay. But remember this one thing, POST. খুব সহজ মনে রাখা, postman মনে রাখবেন. You will, understand the essence, the basic framework of digital marketing. So P for people, O for objectives, S for strategy, or T for technology. So আপনি যে কোনো digital marketing শুরু করার আগে you have to do some analysis of your audience, of your customer. Okay, কাস্টমাররা কি করছে, কোথায় আছে, কি রকম ভাবে আপনার মানে প্রোডাক্ট বা সার্ভিসে কানেক্ট করে। So for example, if it's travel, ঠিক আছে, সো ট্রাভেল হলে এরা ট্রাভেল ওয়েবসাইটে যায়, এরা ইনস্টাগ্রামে গিয়ে ট্রাভেল ইনফ্লুয়েন্সারদের ভিডিও দেখে, কেউ নেপাল যেতে চায়, কেউ দীঘা যেতে চায়, কেউ ইউরোপে যেতে চায়, কতক্ষণ সময় স্পেন্ড করছে কোথায়। সো জাস্ট ট্রাই অ্যান্ড আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড ইউর অডিয়েন্স, ট্রাই অ্যান্ড আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড ইউর কাস্টমার বেস, ওরা কোথায় কি করছে, নট জাস্ট ডিজিটালি বাট অলসো অফলাইন, অফ কোর্স, ইন রিয়েল লাইফ। So this is the first thing. Before you do any marketing campaign, please study your audience thoroughly. আর এটার জন্য অনেক ফ্রি টুলস পাওয়া যায়, সফটওয়্যার টুলস পাওয়া যায়, যেমন গুগল ট্রেন্ডস ইজ এ ভেরি গুড, গুগল ট্রেন্ড ইজ দ্য বেস্ট ফ্রি সফটওয়্যার টুল that I would recommend. So you just go and open the Google Trends page, okay, and it will give you the search volume on any topic, and you can give you a competitive search volume also. মানে for example travel এর কথা আমরা বলছি, ধরুন কাশ্মীর versus say Kerala, কতজন লোক কাশ্মীরে যাচ্ছে, কতজন লোক কেরালাতে যাচ্ছে, suppose you own a travel business, okay, so just say Kashmir travel versus Kerala travel and it will tell you Google search এ কতজন আজকে বা 6 মাস আগে বা গত 10 বছর ধরে কতজন সার্চ করছে, it will give you these trends. So this is one way of studying your audience, ঠিক আছে, this is both online and offline. Second হচ্ছে objective অথবা goals অথবা মানে what you want to achieve basically. Okay, so for a travel company it could be আমি আমার travel companyর জন্য আমি একটা কাশ্মীরের প্যাকেজ করছি, আমার সপ্তাহে 100 খানা আমার এনকোয়ারি চাই বা 1000 এনকোয়ারি চাই, so just put it down in a number, put down the metrics of what your success figures are. মানে you should not do marketing just because you can, you should do marketing because you want to achieve something, some goal, and the goal is of course numbers, right? So 5,000 or 2,000 or 1,000 or whatever, you want to drive traffic to your website, you want to you have an app and you want people to download your app, or you want people to just like you, come and like your page, that is also an objective, কিন্তু একটা metric, একটা numbers objective হওয়া দরকার। ওকে, তারপরে হচ্ছে পোস্ট, POS, S ফর স্ট্র্যাটেজি। তো স্ট্র্যাটেজি মানে হচ্ছে আমার প্ল্যানটা কি, মানে আমি তো people খুব স্টাডি করেছি, আমি আমার গোল ফোল সব সেটিং করে নিয়েছি, now how will I do it? So now this is the real test strategy. So you can say, well, আমি phase 1 এ এটা করব, phase 1 এ I will not spend any money, I will do only organic, আমার 4-5 জন ইনফ্লুয়েন্সার আইডেন্টিফাই করেছি, ওদের দিয়ে আমি মেসেজ একটু স্প্রেড করাবো। ইট ক্যান বি মেনি ডিফারেন্ট কাইন্ডস অফ স্ট্র্যাটেজি, ইট ক্যান বি দ্যাট মেবি নো ফেজেস, একটা ফেজই হতে পারে, ইফ ইটস মোবাইল, আপনার একটা অ্যাপ আছে, সো আমার একজন বন্ধু আছে, I mean he's quite famous actually, 1mg বলে একটা ওষুধের অনলাইন শপিং পোর্টাল আছে ফর মেডিসিনস। তো ও যখন শুরু করেছিল, আই থিঙ্ক অ্যাবাউট 10 years back or 8 years back or something, না তারও আগে, সো ও জাস্ট হোয়াটসঅ্যাপে ওর যে ডিসকাউন্ট গুলো দিচ্ছিল, হোয়াটসঅ্যাপে বন্ধু বান্ধবের মধ্যে স্প্রেড করা আরম্ভ করে দিয়েছিল, স্টার্টেড শেয়ারিং, and it became viral. সবাই স্প্রেড শেয়ার করছিল যে এইখানে এই ওয়েবসাইটে গেলে 50% বা 60% ডিসকাউন্ট দিচ্ছে। So that is how he started, and suddenly he was viral all over the place, and that made gave him a lot of traction, initial traction. So আপনার once you have people and your objective, your goals in place, you have to figure out what your strategy is, মানে কি করে করব, what হয়ে গেছে, এবার it's how, strategy is basically how. And finally it's technology. টেকনোলজি, এই যে আমি আপনাদের যে স্লাইডটা দেখাচ্ছি, এটা আপনাদের চোখ যাদের ভালো দেখতে পাবেন 2007, তার মানে 15 বছর আগেকার, 15-16 বছর আগেকার স্লাইড, এখনো ইট ইজ স্টিল রেলেভেন্ট। সো তখনকার দিনে টেকনোলজি ওয়াজ আ ভেরি কমপ্লেক্স থিং, মানে কোডিং করতে হবে, 10টা লোককে হায়ার করতে হবে, এক্সপার্ট আনতে হবে। এখন টেকনোলজি হ্যাজ বিকাম লাইক টুথপেস্ট, আপনি আপনার পাড়ার বাজারে গিয়ে যে টুথপেস্ট কেনেন ওরকম হয়ে গেছে, there is software as a service, SAS companies, I mean there are services which says how to code without learning coding, মানে আপনি your আপনার স্কুলের if you have a school going son, class 5 class 6 এ পড়ে, ওরা এখন they can create a website, so it's become so ubiquitous, so never be afraid of technology, because technology is becoming easier and easier and easier. So this is the essence of what I wanted to speak with you today, which is POST, people, objective, strategy and technology, these 4 things. Okay, এটা if you want one slide to remember, please remember this slide before you do any marketing campaign, whether it is Facebook এ আমি 1000 টাকা স্পেন্ড করে একটু কিছু করতে চাই, অথবা আমার I have a brand which is spread across India, pan-Indian brand across many different platforms, or a multinational brand, you are a marketing manager in a multinational firm, the same POS2 applies to you whatever you're doing. Okay, so any questions on this POST? Because this is very happy, I'll be very happy to answer any questions here. This is very, very important.
If there's anything for anyone, you can write it on the chat box, please. We'll ask the question to sir.
পরেও জিজ্ঞেস করতে পারেন if you
Yeah.
want, no issues at all. Okay, I will carry on. Okay.
Please.
Okay. So, আর এই স্লাইডগুলো আমি বেশি ভেতরে যাচ্ছি না, বাট ওপরে I will tell you, basically this is about people. So people, আমি বলি personally, I prefer using the word personas, because people বলতে কিছু নেই. So there are different kinds of persona, and I do a lot of research in, frankly speaking, আমি যে মার্কেটিং করি, আমার I don't know, 50% of my marketing efforts are to figure out what is the persona, and sometimes there are multiple personas. আপনার একজনের জন্য তো নয়, খালি শুভ সেনগুপ্তর জন্য তো আপনি বিক্রি করছেন না, আপনি দেবলীনা, Madhumita, you have many different kinds of audiences who are interested in the same thing. So your messaging can be a little different, right? You can have a primary messaging, you can have a secondary messaging, and so on. It depends on all the personas that you have. So there are many ways of doing persona mapping, কিন্তু এগুলো আপনাদের বেশি বললে একটু কনফিউজ হয়ে যাবেন at this point, but just understand there is not one audience, there could be multiple audiences. ঠিক আছে? So that is what I wanted to say. Okay, now এবার let me take you through one or two case studies, because এই জ্ঞান দিয়ে তো শেখা যায় না. I will give you some, let me take you through two or three case studies. তো প্রথমটা হচ্ছে, কোনটা দেখাবো, এটা দেখাবো না এটা দেখাবো, কোনটা দেখাবো, না এটা সি সোশ্যাল, all three are slightly different. Okay, তো একটা হচ্ছে ক্রেডিট এনেবল, এটা হচ্ছে একটা ক্রেডিট, ডিজিটাল ক্রেডিটের একটা কোম্পানি, ওদের জন্য একটা সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া প্ল্যান করে দিয়েছিলাম. ওকে, সেকেন্ড হচ্ছে, এটা হচ্ছে মানে একটা কার, মোবিল অয়েল না কি বলে, মোবিল অয়েল, কার লিউব্রিকেন্ট কোম্পানির জন্য একটা প্ল্যান, এন্ড এটা করেছিলাম নিউ শক্তি বলে একটা কি বলে নিউট্রিশনাল সাপ্লিমেন্ট একটা ব্র্যান্ড আছে, ম্যাম, মানে this is let me take you through New Shakti. New Shakti is actually a Dutch company. I think it's owned by a Dutch company, and it's called DSM, the Dutch company, and it's the world's biggest nutritional supplement company. It's a Swiss company, sorry, not a German company. Okay, আর আপনি যে হরলিক্স এসব খান, ওই এদেরই, they make the original product, the raw product. Okay, so basically what they wanted to do is go B2B. Okay, এরা বললো আমরা তো হরলিক্সকে বিক্রি করছি, একে বিক্রি করছি, we are making a lot of money, but we want to do it digitally. আমাদের থেকে ডাইরেক্টলি কিনবে, আমরা সেটা চাই, let us try that. So they came to me and I gave them a plan which they are using right now. I don't have the time to engage with them directly, but I just did this brief which they agreed with, and now there is some agency that follows it, that does it, right? So প্রথমে I'll take you through, বেশি কটা স্লাইড আছে, 19টা স্লাইড আছে, but I'll take you through some of the slides, not all. So প্রথমে হচ্ছে ব্রিফ. তো নিউ শক্তি এগুলো ভুলে যান, নাম ফাম not important, represents set of fortifying products aimed at amplifying the nutrition content of a packed product, blah blah blah. Primary audience, এই দেখুন এখানে যে বলছিলাম আমি, there are 4 different kinds of personas. এর আগে একটু আগে যেটা বলছিলাম, একটা অডিয়েন্স নেই, আর এটা একদম মানে সাউথ ক্যালকাটা, বালিগঞ্জ ওরকম নয়, কিন্তু এটা হচ্ছে রহড়া, তারপরে সাঁতরাগাছি, টাঙ্গাইল, ওইসব জায়গায় বিক্রি হয়, A3, B1, B2 kind of audiences. Okay, with thankfully only housewives 28 to 45. Now all of us know that the mental makeup of a housewife who's 28 years old and someone who's 45 is very, very different. So you needed very different kind of messaging. Okay, in fact এটা কলকাতার সাবার্বস, আমি যে একটু আগে বলছিলাম কলকাতা সাবার্বসও এটা টেস্ট লঞ্চ করা হয়েছিল. ঠিক আছে, এদের একটা ট্যাগলাইন ছিল, এটা ওদের অ্যাড এজেন্সি করে দিয়েছিল, ডোনা গাঙ্গুলি করেছিল কিনা আমি ঠিক মনে পড়ছে না, বাট দে ইউজ সাম লোকাল সেলিব্রিটি. ওকে, না দি আদার থিং দ্যাট আই ডিড ওয়াজ, এটা বোধহয় 2 বছর আগেকার গল্প. তো এনিওয়ে আই টোল্ড দেম, ওদের যে ম্যানেজমেন্ট বোর্ড ছিল, যে ওয়াই ইউ শুড ডু ডিজিটাল, দরকারটা কি. কারণ আমি I wanted everyone to understand why we were doing it, why we could just stay with traditional, why we had to extend it to digital. So my arguments were, India এখন is going regional thanks to digital. It is no longer urban centric. আমাদের ইন্টারনেটটা যেমন আগে urban centric ছিল, now it has become very এখন 400 মিলিয়ন নেটিজেন্স তো নয়, এখন অ্যাকচুয়ালি ইটস অ্যাবাউট 700 মিলিয়ন নেটিজেন্স, এই 2 বছর আগেকার গল্প বলছি, ঠিক আছে। সেকেন্ড হচ্ছে এদের যে কোর টার্গেট অডিয়েন্স ফিমেল হোম মেকার্স, দে স্পেন্ড আ লট অফ টাইম অন দি ইন্টারনেট। হ্যাঁ, দে ইনফ্যাক্ট এখন লেটেস্ট আপনাকে যদি বলি, আই হ্যাভ দি ইনফরমেশন যে 50% অফ নেটিজেন্স আমাদের দেশে আর উইমেন। হ্যাঁ, ইট ইজ নট, আগে কিন্তু 90% মেন ছিল, এটা চেঞ্জ হয়ে গেছে। ওকে, so the biggest, anyway, I will not get too much into this, but biggest brands in India are now taking a digital first approach. Digital can be monitored and measured on an hourly basis, ongoing basis, right? So this the management really liked. They were sold into the idea why they should do digital. Tapore eta to I have taken you through this. Okay, now this is the approach. So approach was আমি একটু আগে যে বলছিলাম POST, customer identification, understanding customer persona, business objective identification, goal setting, action analysis, and analysis থেকে যা ongoing campaign তো তাই জন্য এই arrow গুলো দেখছেন, whatever knowledge that you get about how your campaign is doing, you put it back into creating new set of communication material. Okay, so that is what we're doing. কিছু details I will খুব একটা সময় I will not spend on this. I can share the deck with you because this is, 2 বছর পুরনো, I have no issues, but this is what the different pieces of the marketing funnel stood for. So create awareness, generate demand, drive conversion, delight customers, inspire evangelism or advocacy. So there were different goals for different things. Okay, and the other new thing that I did was influencer marketing. আপনারা সবাই নিশ্চয়ই শুনেছেন. So there is a, sorry, একটু জল খাই, এক সেকেন্ড. So the new game is called influencer marketing. আমি জানি কলকাতাতেও অনেক ইনফ্লুয়েন্সার মার্কেটার আছে, আমি তো এতে দেখি খুব মজার এই করে ইনস্টাগ্রামে রিলস বানায়. So influencer marketing in the last 2 years, especially the last COVID এর পর থেকে, কেউ একটা কোভিড এর সম্বন্ধে যে প্রশ্ন জিজ্ঞেস করেছিলেন, is playing a very major role. It is I know many small brands which are putting 70-80% of their budgets on influencer marketing. Okay, so influencer marketing, and especially jara nijera content banaয়, content creators যাদের বলে, who have a good following. Okay, so they have bigger ROI, they have more better reach, they have more source of information when shopping, right? So I recommended influencer marketing, and this was the one of the earliest campaigns where influencer were used. ঠিক আছে? So in fact, next slide je dekhchen, the influencers were as important as content, as important as paid advertising. ঠিক আছে, তারপরে আরো কিছু করেছিলাম, এগুলো I won't spend too much time, but they were different mom personas, different kinds of housewives, mothers, right? Okay, so এইসব জায়গায় I recommended they should do, there were core interests for the mom mothers were parenting, health and wellness, cooking, gardening, lifestyle, Bollywood. So which is why I recommended YouTube, Instagram, TikTok তখনও ব্যান হয়নি, শেয়ার চ্যাট এখনো আছে, তারপরে শপিং at Amazon, and especially shopclues হচ্ছে, it's like the Indian SEC, smaller cities, smaller town এর জন্য তখন মানে বছর 2-2.5 আগে it was very popular. So shopclues I suggested they should spend the most money. Okay, also Big Bazaar, Snapdeal, এইসব জায়গায়, right? So yeah, so what was the strategy? Strategy was doing 2 things. Ekta to nobody knew of the product, right? So I said, দেখো তুমি straight গিয়ে যদি তুমি বেচতে আরম্ভ করো, nobody is interested, কারণ কেউ আপনাদের নাম শুনেনি. So stage 1 was creating a lot of awareness through mom influencer, we called it, created content targeting followers. Okay, and stage 2 was engagement leading to sampling. এখন sampling টা কোথায় হবে? Sampling টা রিটেল লেভেলে হবে, মানে দোকানে হবে. তো ডিজিটাল থেকে আমি দোকানে পাঠাবো, from virtual to real. So that was the basic strategy which they kind of liked, because in fact they were, see, any product এই টাইপের, you do sampling, to do a test market, but we did digital to spread a lot of awareness. Ektu TV chilo, by the way. It was not only digital, kichu TV chilo, local TV, Bangla channels, Tamil channels, which would drive people to the website and try some sampling. ঠিক আছে, তো এই ছিল base. The larger ecosystem looked like this. So there was a website, there was SEO, there was an influencer program, there were on-ground events, PR, there were all social platforms, মানে Facebook এসব ছিল, and there were a lot of contests for moms and their family. ঠিক আছে, and there was a lot of user generated content from our target audience. So that was the general approach. Eta amar hoye geche. Any questions on this? Very happy to take.
Shubho, I will step in here. Could you share an understanding with our audience today on how to go about persona mapping?
Yeah, okay. So let me just go back to the, I don't know, where was I doing it? Sorry. Yeah, this one, sorry. Yeah. So I'll just give an example of this persona mapping. In this case, New Shakti je ekটু আগে যেটা দেখাচ্ছিলাম আমি, so we were clear, as in the client had told us যে দেখো 90% or 80% of our audience is, prospective customers are women, they are mothers, okay? They buy these nutritional supplements for their children, for their Horlicks audience basically, okay, which we were very clear about. So we did a lot of online research also, and we did some surveys, Madhumita di. So surveys like Survey Monkey bole ekta software ache, up to 100, I think it's free, something like that. So we sent out these questionnaires to all the mothers that we knew near Chennai and near Calcutta, in Calcutta, asking different questions. So I can't remember the survey questions, but that survey questions helped us identify these three main personas, three main kind of people. One is very, very family centric, to the point of subduing her own individuality. Family always came first. Second kind of mother was very independent minded. She was very forward looking and progressive, okay, yet running the family, but she had a personal life, okay. So that was the second one. And the third one was this complete information seekers. So these were the three main personas that we found, okay. Spent a lot of time Google search korche, YouTube search korche. So we narrowed down on these three different personas, and finally the communication that the ad agency created was based on these three personas. So how do you find personas? Well, there is no one single formula, but generally what you do is if it's a heritage, if it's a product that has been in the market for a while, then the brand manager or the marketing manager will generally give you an idea of what the different kinds of customers are, right? But you also go online and you use Google Trends, use other tools, free tools, and you find out who are the different kinds of audiences. So that's how you kind of start looking at the personas. I hope that kind of answers your question by 10%.
Yes. Thanks, Shubho.
Okay. Any other questions? Amana arekjon bote jigesh korechilo.
Yeah, there is a few more questions, but I'll take just one, which Mr. Mikey has asked that, do you think that digital marketing is more effective for B2C channels and not for B2B channels? That is his question.
That's a very valid question. When I kind of got into digital marketing in 2007, I believe this, this could only be B2C, right? Direct to consumer. So ওই সময় 2002 থেকে 2007-8 পর্যন্ত, it was a big brand. The big brand could be from the BFSI sector, like a insurance company or a bank, talking to someone who's looking for a credit card. তো একটা ব্যানার দেখতো বা একটা মেলার দেখতো, it would click and go to the website and fill up a form, right? So to applying for a credit card or a loan or home loan or something. So that is what it was initially. It was direct to the customer. Now what happened is two things. One is social media. This, though Facebook came to India around 2005-6 ওরকম সময়, Facebook commerce, social commerce really took off, or influencer marketing, as I was saying, really took off, say 2013 2014 ওরকম সময়। আর আপনাদের সবার মনে আছে নিশ্চয়ই, রিলায়েন্স জিও ডঙ্গল, রিলায়েন্স জিও কানেকশন যখন এলো, broadband speeds went up drastically, and basically the websites loaded very quickly and there were so many apps. We started, আমার মনে আছে আমি অনেক বছর ধরে ভাবতাম যে অ্যামাজন তো আছে, কিন্তু কে ক্রেডিট কার্ড ইউজ করবে? I had this doubt for many years, but suddenly in 2013 2014, all people stopped worrying. They just started online commerce. So anyway, sorry, I'm digressing a little bit. What has happened is that a business cannot sell to a business. Those days are gone. Now businesses are selling to businesses, and they're finding it, faster and cheaper to sell to, for a large business to sell to small business, or a small business to sell to large businesses through social media. I know companies which are only doing LinkedIn advertising, and they're, doing business. So it depends on what your product is, but those boundaries are gone. There are also, new businesses which are internet only. Acta example to, internet only business is let's say a cloud kitchen, right? So they're physical, but pura ব্যবসাটা হচ্ছে through cloud, right? So that is of course B2C to consumer, but let me give you a better example. There are manufacturers, Bombay Shaving Company, হয়তো নাম শুনেছেন, who manufacture only for the internet, কোনো দোকান নেই, huh? So, internet has broken down a lot of these, fast broadband speeds, that is, broken down a lot of these, barriers. So yes, those days are gone, but much to be done. Yeah. Any further questions?
Yeah, there are many questions. Just wanted to know, Madhumita ma'am, since she is organizing the session.
Let me take you through a completely different
please,
case study. একটা তো এটা করেছি আমি, এই নিউ শক্তি. Let me take you through should I take you through this one? এটা সো গোল্ডেন ক্রুজার বলে একটা লুব্রিকেন্ট ছিল। সরি, কিছু বোরিং প্রোডাক্টে আমি I'm taking you through, but this was very interesting because who would try to sell a car lubricant through digital, through integrated. So this is very interesting. I found it personally very interesting. So this was বেশি সময় নেব না, this is an Indo-Japanese company and Haryana the manufacturing করে anti-freeze coolers. This was their product, right? Okay, so what did they want to do? এটা কিন্তু 35 বছর ধরে বাজারে আছে, but marketing awareness was very very low. Okay, so আমরা একটা এজেন্সি, মানে see, agencies come to me for some advice, so I mean I do a little consulting. So for that 6 to 8 months time frame, they wanted their awareness to go up in the market, not the non-market, but in the market. So basically this is what they did. This is what I did for them. I did a competition positioning, etc., other things, competition positioning, and I found out what their USP was, what the unique selling proposition, what the differentiator was, okay, which is preferred by experts, right? The other products, smooth rides, Protex engine, etc., এসব ছিল, কিন্তু এদের ছিল preferred by experts. So this is what I found out through some analysis, through a POST যেটা বলছিলাম, আমি রিসার্চ করে দেখলাম যে experts seem to prefer this company SSCI, right? So what I did was, we started with This is just an example. Mr. Bachchan was not the brand ambassador, but the core message, what I said was, this is the industry insider. Okay. So this was the thought starter. This is just an example, right? And so what we said was, we will use a community, and this is what I like doing on this project. So we created a community, online community of influencers, of car mechanics, of car owners, etc., who were believers, who were already users of Golden Cruisers. Okay, so that is what we did basically, and এটা তো দেখেছেন আমি দেখিয়েছি আগে. Okay. So what is our audience doing online? এটাও আমরা দেখলাম research করে. Then what is the strategy? Again, this is similar to what এর আগে যেটা দেখালাম আমি, New Shakti, engagement leading to sampling. Okay, if it's a small product, your digital should lead to offline. Okay, that is what I always try to do, online to offline, right? So this worked pretty well actually. Yeah, okay. So anyway, so that is what we did. And Bishi Shoini, I will just take you through this last one. This is a credit company.
Shubho,
Yeah.
think I have to drop the third case for another time.
Okay.
Sure. Be some questions from the audience, and carrying it forward by the flavor that you got. And let's sit around and chat, and let's look at some case examples. So I will lead with a question which bothers me much as a marketer. I heard you when you kept saying that digital and traditional marketing are not two separate streams. But the challenge we find is a good balanced skill set and understanding of digital and traditional marketing is yet not very much visible in the creative agency spaces. Even when you engage with large agencies which tell you that they have end-to-end capabilities, but then they box you. Okay, this is what you want to do, so let me put you onto my digital team, or let me put you onto my traditional creative team. Any thoughts on that which you would like to share? Are you seeing that needle shift, or is it really a challenge, or am I just imagining it?
No, it's a real challenge, but it's 50-50. I'll just shift the thing, focus a little bit. There is something called the Abbey Awards, which I'm sure you're very familiar with, the advertising awards, which happens in Goa every year. Okay, so typically, when I was around in traditional advertising, the top 10 agencies would be Ogilvy and Leo Burnett and JWT and so on. And if you see this year's list, about 60 to 70% are digital agencies or digital driven agencies. Okay, or agencies which are digital but owned by traditional agencies. So the advertising mix has completely changed. It is no longer these people that you mentioned, which is, okay, we'll speak with our digital division. So ota ekটু change হয়ে গেছে এখন. People take digital very, very seriously. In fact, the kind of work that I've done in the last 5-6 years is very, very digital first, right? So I think that tipping point happened about 3-4 years back. It is no longer, let's also look at digital. It is, okay, digital first. Now let's also look at TV. Let's also look at other things. So, it's become truly integrated. But having said that, let me go back to what I said initially, which is, TV has its place. You cannot just push away TV in a country like India. We love sitting in front of a big screen and watching, whatever, Netflix or something or the other, news. So TV is not going away. India is a Bollywood-driven country. We like stories. We like narratives. Digital narrative storytelling isho oto bhalo bhabe kora jay na. So you have to look at a mix. Otherwise, it is not possible for a 360-degree campaign.
Thanks, Shubho. I'll just check with Anirban. Anirban, are there any audience questions?
Yes, ma'am. There are 2 questions. I think we have time for just 2. So I'll just take these 2 questions with your permission. One is, which is a concern nowadays for everyone, how AI will help to grow digital marketing sector.
Okay, so I'm audible, right? আমি মাঝে মাঝে জিজ্ঞেস করি if I'm
Yes, sir,
audible.
you are audible.
Yeah, okay. So AI, and the different forms like chat gpt and so on AI has been around for a long time. I mean, Facebook has been using AI for the last 10 years or even more. It's just now that AI is entering mainstream marketing, and in areas like CRM, CRM software, etc. AI basically helps you take decisions faster. That is what AI helps you do. And I have seen, I put AI, Chat GPT to use a lot in creating small blogs, for example. I'm just giving a very simple example. Small blogs, 500-word blogs written through chat with the help of Chat GPT, they help SEO greatly. Okay. I have seen instances where the SEO traffic has gone up by 500-600% using chat GPT in one afternoon. Someone, an actual copywriter, used to have to sit and write these blogs, right? So that's just one example. But from a larger perspective, AI is the future in all kinds of marketing. It will help you monitor your campaign better. It will help your reach. It will help you, get more bang for the buck and so on.
Okay, and the last question which we might take is, this is how can one attribute the return on investment to direct general trade sales, and hence compare the ROI of digital versus traditional marketing to plan the marketing mix optimally?
So there is no digital versus traditional. As I was saying, it has to work together. So you look at a media neutral marketing funnel first, and you put, see, like I said, the start of your marketing campaign is your audience, your customer. So you do your persona mapping well. তারপরে কোথায় ডিজিটাল আসবে, কোথায় traditional আসবে will automatically fall into place. You do not start with, and this is a mistake a lot of people do, you do not start with আমি SEO তে কি করব, আমি ফেসবুকে কি করব, or আমি টিভিতে কি করব. That's a wrong approach. Just put the persona, and Madhumita Di will agree, put the customer in the center and map your campaigning around that person. Okay, everything will fall into place seamlessly if you really know your customer. If you know your customer's media consumption habits, it should not be difficult. So there won't be any digital versus traditional thing. In some places, in media dark areas, it could be wall paintings. It will not be your mobile phone. It will not be your television screen. And in some places it can be your mobile, Instagram, whatever. It depends.
Right, Shubho. I think it's really challenging getting you to squeeze the wisdom into a 1-hour session and be able to satisfy all our queries. But I really like the approach you took, a couple of case studies, and a true willingness to open up the conversation with all of us. Thank you once again for giving us your time, and for offering to also share parts of your presentation. If you would still like to do it, you could share it with Anirban, and we have some students who would have connected on this call, and they could benefit from it. But I leave that to you. Anirban, with your permission, do I wrap up the session now?
Yes, ma'am, please. It's all yours.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, everybody, for participating. We have a good mix here of corporate students, also my colleagues from the CMA executive panel. Thank you, everybody. Anirban, thank you for bringing these programs with such rhythm to all of us, and connecting with Mr. Sengupta here, and enabling this evening. And for all at the back end who have been helping put together this program. The good thing is, as we go digital, the word of thanks becomes easier, because it's plug and play, and not too much of a on-ground team to remember and thank. But nonetheless, I would not want to forget anybody. And once again, thank you for being with us this evening. Oriban, over to you, and a closure, please. Sorry, you wanted to say something, Shubho?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank the Calcutta Management Association, Anirvanda and Madhumita Di for arranging this. Sorry, I was a little, I kept postponing because I was traveling and, things weren't working out, but I'm very happy to be here. And I will gladly share the text that I took you through. I will send it to Anirvanda on WhatsApp. Very happy to share whatever knowledge I have. That is how I learn and you learn, we learn together. Thank you.
Thank you once again. All the best, everybody. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you. Just before I close, thanks to all of you. Just with your permission, Mr. Sengupta, we would again like to bring you back, but with a longer session this time, because I could find that there are many things that we missed out today with the 1 hour session, maybe a masterclass for about 3 hours. We will take your permission and of course your time before we can do that. But I think that will be very beneficial for not only the students, but a few professionals have joined. They had many questions which we can be answering them. So thanks to all of you. Thanks to Madhumita ma'am for connecting us to this speaker to having this session. And all the audience, you will have on the screen now your e-certificate link. You can go to the link, you can scan the link and get your e-certificates. Thanks to all of you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All the best.